Good afternoon everyone. I am Mahindra Kumar. Today we will study about the testing of transformers. Okay. So let us begin. During this lecture, mainly we will focus on open circuit test and short circuit test. We will see which type of parameters we can find out by using open circuit test and short circuit test, and the losses that we can find by using open circuit test and short circuit test. Okay. So let us start with open circuit test. In open circuit test, the main objective to find the core losses. Okay, by using open circuit test we can find the core losses, that is also known as iron losses or constant losses. Okay, the second thing that we can find out, that is shunt parameters. See, while performing the test, this test is performed on rated voltage. It means the test must be performed at the rated voltage and rated frequency. As we know that V rated low voltage is less than V rated high voltage, so this test has to perform towards the low voltage side. See, what is the reason of this to perform toward the low voltage side? See, we know that rating of the transformer remains same toward the primary side and secondary side, that is V1 I1 must be equal to V2 I2. Okay, if V2 is greater than V1, because we are considering this is the high voltage side and this is the low voltage side, it means that I2 must be less than of I1. This must be satisfied. So see, while performing this test as rated voltage, if we are going to perform this test toward the low voltage side, then whatever the equipments or apparatus that we will use to measure the voltage, current and wattmeter will be of low rating. That means low rating of the apparatus means low cost. Okay, so it is always desirable to perform this test toward the low voltage side while keeping the high voltage side the open circuit. In this case high voltage side will be the remain open circuited. Okay, so let us come to the next slide. See, the no load current at rated voltage is less than 1% of nominal current. Because what we are doing during performing this test, we are going to perform this test at rated voltage and load condition. That is, high voltage side will be the open circuited and low voltage side at rated voltage the only I0, that is no load current, will be flow. The IM magnetizing current component and IC is the core current component going in RC. RC is nothing but core resistance. This is nothing but core resistance, that is corresponding to the losses into the core in the form of hysteresis and eddy current loss. XM is nothing but magnetizing reactance, which is nothing but the reactance that is responsible to stabilize the magnetic flux in a transformer, and this will be the I0. Okay, at this point only no load current is flowing, which is almost 1% of the nominal current. So there will be the parameter of, that is R1 and X1, that is primary winding resistance and reactance. Because the current is very less, so whatever the drop will be in series parameter, that we can neglect. That's why this series branch we have neglected from this circuit diagram. Okay, so while performing the test, what we have to do, the high voltage side with the open circuit, and we have to connect a wattmeter, voltmeter, ammeter toward the low voltage side. So exactly what we are doing, this circuit will come into the picture of here, low voltage side. We have to connect a ammeter in series, a wattmeter and a voltmeter, and this thing we have to connect to the auto transformer. This, okay. What exactly we are using auto transformer, we will vary the voltage in such a way that when the V will be equal to the V rated, at that instant we have to record all the readings of ammeter, wattmeter and voltmeter. Okay, we will see in the next slide. Okay. Here is the calculation to find the core loss and shunt parameters of a single phase transformer. So as I have already discussed, the high voltage side will remain open circuited, and toward the low voltage side we have to connect one wattmeter. This is the current coil. We know that in current coil the number of turns will be less, and there one more, that is the pressure coil having large number of turns than of the current coil. Okay, so this is the wattmeter that I have connected to measure the core losses in this circuit. Okay, so let us assume this is W, which is nothing but wattmeter. Okay, along with in series, further we have to connect a ammeter in series with a wattmeter and a voltmeter and shunt to this circuit. Okay, so this is the voltmeter we have connected, and this will be connected over here. and this branch obviously come over here and it goes to the auto transformer, and this is somewhere here. Okay, so there will be an auto transformer to vary the voltage so that we can set voltage up to rated voltage. Okay, so here will the supply, let us read the supply voltage. This is nothing but an auto transformer. What we are doing over here, we have to change this auto transfer voltage in such a way when the voltmeter reading will be equal to the V rated. Let's say V rated is nothing but V1. Okay, when the reading of the voltmeter will be equal to the rated voltage V1, at this instant we have to record the reading of the voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter. Say at rated voltage, I am considering that rated voltage is nothing but V1. Okay, at V1 the reading of the voltmeter is V1 and the reading of the ammeter is nothing but I0, that is a no load current, and the reading of the wattmeter is nothing but W0. Okay, so this thing we can record easily when our circuit is working at rated voltage. Okay, now by finding this parameter, how we can calculate the core loss, constant losses, that is a shunt parameter. For this thing we have to remember that in this circuit there is only one resistance, so whatever the losses will be there, that will be corresponding to this core resistance. Okay, so we can say that V1 square upon RC is nothing but W0, that must be equal to directly P of core or P of iron or P of constant. So directly by reading we can find core losses from here. Okay, even though there is a little bit current, 1% of nominal current, that is no load current, there should be also copper loss, but copper loss is very small, that can be neglected easily. So whatever the losses will be there, they will be considered as the core losses. Okay, so directly whatever the reading at rated voltage will come out by wattmeter will consider as a core losses. Okay, now we have to find out the RC and XM. For that we have to draw a phasor. Let us see the phasor. See, there is a flux line. See the phasor, that is a flux phi, and there we know that the voltage have to lag y is corresponding flux by 90 degree, so it will lag by 90 degree. Now the primary voltage will be somewhere over here, because I am neglected R1 X1, so V1 must be equal to E1. E1 induced voltage, V1 is supply voltage. So I0 is no load current, as we have seen over here. This is coming I0, which is bifabricated in IM and IC. Okay, so IM must be in phase to phi. IM will be somewhere over here and IC will be somewhere over here in this phase. Okay, this is not direct. IC will be over here, and the resultant of these two things will come out with I0. Okay, this is I0 resultant, and this thing will be phi. Let us say phi naught, and the cosine of the phi naught with a no load power factor. Now what we can do, we know that V0, that is V1 I0 cos of phi naught is nothing but W0, that is core loss. So we can find out from here cos of phi naught is nothing but W0 upon V1 by I0, because W0 V1 I0 is known, so cos phi naught is also known. Now by this diagram, let us assume this is O A V. Consider in the triangle of O A V, triangle of O A V, this side A V, it is nothing but it must be equal to I0. This is a perpendicular, so sine of phi naught. Similarly, the side of OA, which is nothing equal to I0 cos of phi naught. Then AV is nothing, AV is equal to magnetizing current IM. Similarly, OA is nothing but equal to IC. Now we know the value of IM and IC, so now we can calculate the XM and RC, because in previous diagram we have seen that this is our circuit. Here I0 is coming, there is a resistance RC, core resistance, and magnetizing reactance is nothing but XM over here. Okay, corresponding current is going IM and here the current is coming IC, and the vector sum is equal to I0, and this is the voltage that we have applied is rated voltage V1. So we can say RC is nothing but RC equal to V1 upon IC. Now V1 is known, IC is known, so we can find easily core resistance. Similarly, XM is nothing but XM equal to V1 upon IM. Now V1 is known, IM is known, so we can find out easily these things. Okay. So by using this phasor, we can find these two things, that is shunt parameter resistance and reactance, that is magnetizing reactance. One more thing, there is also one more method by which we can find out the RC, that is by V1 square upon RC is nothing but W0. See, directly from here we can find this voltage directly imposed is nothing but V1, that is V1 square by RC equal, that is RC is equal to, RC is nothing but RC equal to V1 square upon W0. So by this formula we can also find the value of RC, or else by using the formula V1 by IC. For that we have to calculate IC and IM. Means by using this open circuit test, what are the things that we can find? We can find P of core, which is nothing but directly equal to W0. Second thing what we can find, shunt parameter. Okay, shunt parameter we can find directly, which is nothing but shunt parameters, which is nothing but RC and XM. Okay, and we have to remember this test must be performed always at rated voltage. If the test is not performed at the rated voltage, then whatever the value of the W0, that it will not equal to the rated core loss or constant losses. Okay, so let us quickly summarize this test, open circuit test. If we will look at the summary, then what we have to calculate in open circuit test must perform, it must perform at V rated and F rated. Second thing that we can summarize, it must perform toward the low voltage side, and high voltage side must be the open circuited. Okay, because low voltage side the voltage rated voltage is less, so the apparatus or equipments whatever we are using, low voltage side the voltage is less, so apparatus or equipments we are using to measuring voltage, current and watt will be the less rating, it means less cost. Okay, third thing we have to remember, along with by this we can find P of core and RC and of XM. Okay, this thing we can easily say, we can easily find out. Okay, so this is about the summary part of this test. Let us start the second test, that is short circuit test. Okay, in short circuit test, let us see the objective. Its objective to find the copper losses. Copper losses are also known as the variable losses. Okay, we have to remember these are also known as the variable losses. The reason is this, it will vary continuously with respect to the load. Okay, and the second thing, to determine the series branch parameters of equivalent circuit. By using the short circuit test, we can find the copper losses as well as we can find the series branch parameter of the equivalent circuit diagram of a transformer. Okay, so the thing that we have to remember, this test is performed at rated current. This test must be performed at rated current because we are talking about the copper losses. Okay, and rated frequency, at rated frequency. As we know that I rated high voltage side is less than I rated low voltage side, so this test has to perform toward the high voltage side. What does it mean? I rated high voltage is less than I rated low voltage side. As I explained before, let us V2, I2, that rating of the transformer both sides must be equal to V1, I1. This is the high voltage side and this is the low voltage side. It means V2 is greater than of V1 because this is the high voltage side. So obviously I2 must be less than of I1. What does it mean? The rated current toward the high voltage side is less than the rated current towards the low voltage side. So if we perform this test towards the high voltage side, then the equipments or apparatus that we use to measure the current, voltage and wattmeter will be of low rating. It means the cost of the recording apparatus will be less. Okay, so we have to perform this test toward the high voltage side, and low voltage side will be the short circuited. Okay, this thing we have to mention, perform this toward the high voltage side, and low voltage side must be the short circuit. Okay. Now see, in this test, a rated current is allowed to flow toward the high voltage side of the transformer at 10% of the rated voltage. It means when we short circuit the low voltage side, then V short circuit means the voltage at which the rated current will flow toward the high voltage side will be equal to almost 10% of V rated. Okay, it should not be equal to the V rated, it will be almost 10% of the V rated. It means the excitation current of the transformer comparison to V rated will be the very less, so that we can neglect the shunt branch in this case, because the V short circuit is almost 10% of the V rated. Okay, let us consider at rated current the value of the voltmeter will be V short circuit, current I short circuit, and W is W short circuit. Okay, so low voltage side we have to short circuit and we have to perform the test toward the high voltage side. Okay, as I have shown over here. Let's go to the next slide so that we can remove this shunt parameter and we can proceed toward finding the copper losses and remaining series parameters. Okay, so see, the supply voltage required to circulate rated current through the transformer usually very small and is of the order of few percentage of the nominal voltage, and the excitation current, which is only 1% or less even at rated voltage, because the negligibly small during this test and hence is neglected. As I explained before, the rate that excitation current will be almost 1% of current then of at rated voltage, so this thing can be neglected. It means the shunt parameter, that is RC and XM, can be neglected. Okay, so now we have to find out the value of RE2 and XE2. What are the RE2 and XE2? Let us see. See, this thing I already explained. Calculation to find the copper loss and series parameter single phase transfer. For that we have to draw the circuit diagram. This is the resistance, which is RE2. Equivalent resistance refer to the high voltage side. This is JX E2. Equivalent reactance refer to the high voltage side. This is the winding towards the high voltage side. Okay, and there will be the magnetic coupling between high voltage side. This is E2. This will be the induced voltage toward the low voltage side. This is low voltage side winding, and this must be the short circuit. Okay, so I have short circuit this thing. To perform this test, as I explained before, there must be this to perform this test, as I explained before, we have to connect the parameters toward the high voltage side. So we have to connect a wattmeter over here, less number of turn in current coil, higher number of turn in pressure coil. So this is wattmeter. Okay, this is nothing but wattmeter. And reading, let us at short circuit will be WSC. We have to connect a ammeter in series to this and a voltmeter parallel to this somewhere over here. Okay, and this thing we have to connect to an auto transformer. Okay, so let us connect this thing to the auto transformer. This is an auto transformer to vary the voltage, and this is the somewhere supply voltage. Okay, let us say V. Okay, V supply. Now we have to change the auto transformer voltage in such a way that it allows to flow the rated current toward the high voltage side. How we can find out the rated current toward the high voltage side? As we know that the manufacturer described the rating of the transformer, so we know that V2 I2 must be equal to kVA rating of the transformer. As V2 is known, okay, so that we can easily find that I2 rating. Let us say it is rated. So we have to change the auto transfer voltage in such a way that it allows to flow the rated current, that must be equal to I short circuit. Let us see, it flow at the 10%, almost 10% voltage of the V rated. Okay, the voltage will not equal to the rated voltage, it will be allowed the 10% of V rated. At this instant, when the rated current will start flowing in the circuit, we have to record readings of the wattmeter. Let us say that will be W short circuit, and reading of the ammeter, let us say that will be equal to I short circuit, and reading of the voltmeter, let us say that we equal to V short circuit. Okay, now we know the reading of the wattmeter, ammeter, voltmeter. Now we have to find out the copper losses and one more thing, that is the series parameter. So how we can find? See, in this diagram there is only one resistance in which the power, active power is consuming, no other resistance is there. So we can say directly that R equivalent to into I short circuit square is nothing but P copper. Okay, P copper or P variable, that must be equal to W short circuit. So directly whatever the reading of a wattmeter at rated current, I rated, that must be equal to the variable or copper losses. Okay, now remaining thing that we have to find, that is RE2 and XE2. This is the short circuit side, that's it. Okay, here we short circuit we have applied. Okay, this is the I short circuit is going over here. Okay, so we have to find how we can find RE2 and XE2. We know that V short circuit upon I short circuit is nothing but it must be equal to the Z short circuit. The magnitude of this must be equal to the magnitude of this. Okay, so in this diagram what we can do, that Z short circuit magnitude is nothing but RE2 square plus XE2 square. We can find RE2 from equation number 1. How we can find? We can find that is RE2 is nothing but V short circuit, that is copper loss, we know, I short circuit square. So RE2 directly can be find over here. Okay, let us say this is the equation number 2. Y equation first and second, Y equation first and second, we can say that XE2 magnitude is nothing but Z short circuit square minus of RE2 square. Okay, so that we can find out the XE2 as well. Okay, so easily we can find by performing short circuit test P copper and RE2 and XE2. So this is all about the short circuit. Let us have a glimpse of a summary on open circuit and short circuit what we have studied so far. Let's have a glimpse. This is the open circuit and this is the short circuit. What you have to do about the open circuit, we have to perform this test toward the low voltage side and high voltage side will remain open circuited. About the short circuit, we have to perform this test toward the high voltage side and low voltage side remain short circuited. Okay, second thing we have to mention, what we have to do, at V rated, this test has to perform at V rated and F rated. This test have to perform at I rated and F rated. Okay, rated frequency. And the third thing, what we can calculate, we can calculate P4 and shunt parameter RC and XM. By using this test, what we can calculate? We can calculate P copper, that is variable losses, and RE2 and XE2 series parameter. Why this is called variable losses? Because this loss is continuously changing with respect to the load. Okay, with respect to load means it is dependent on the current, whatever the amount, what amount of the current is going for the transformer, it is depending on that thing. Okay, so this is all about the open circuit test and this is all about the short circuit test. Okay, so let us have a numerical based on these problems. Okay, so here is the question. They have given a 10 kVA 2500 to 50 volt single phase transformer has the following results. They have performed open circuit test corresponding. They have given some reading 250 volt, 0.8 ampere, 50 watt, and at short circuit test they have given the reading 60 volt, 3 ampere and 45 watt. Find the efficiency at half full load at 0.8 power factor. Okay, I imagine that all of you are familiar with the efficiency formula, that is eta is nothing but load factor X into kVA into cos phi power factor divided by x kVA into cos phi plus P iron, that is constant losses or core losses, x square P CuFl. Okay, so we have to find the efficiency by using that formula. For that we have to know iron or core losses and PCUFL, full load losses. Okay, we know that open circuit test can give the value of directly of PRL if it is performed at V rated. So we have to check whether the given reagent is performed at V rated or not, so that we can directly write P iron value is 50 watt. So low voltage side 250 volt and open circuit test has been performed at 250 volt. So we have seen during our theory classes already that at rated voltage open circuit test directly give the PRN value, that is PRN is nothing but 50 watt here. We can directly write 50 watt. Now see, short circuit test, we know that if it is performed at high rated, it can directly give the value of PCUFL, full load copper losses. So that first we have to find out the rated current toward the high voltage side. Okay, so I2 we have to find out, so that we can check whether it is given or rated or not. We know that V2 I2 equal to nothing but 10,000. I2, that is rated current, must be equal to 10,000 upon 2500, because high voltage side voltage given as 2500. So it will give 4 ampere, means a rated current must be equal to 4 ampere. To get the short circuit test power rating directly as PCUFL, it must perform at 4 ampere, but it is performed at 3 ampere. So we know it is not perform at rated current, so this rating cannot equal to PCUFL. We know that P copper is nothing but I square into R. So to find out the rated PCUFL, we have to find the copper full load at 4 ampere instead of 3 ampere. At 3 ampere it is given at 45 upon 3 square, because it is directly proportional to current square. So PCUFL equal to 45 by 3 square into 4 square. Okay, so it will come out eventually 45 into 60 upon 9, 81. Okay, so this will be the directive PCUFL. So we can say that PCUFL will be equal to 80 watts, not at 45 watts. Most of the students can make this error, because as I explained in PCUFL, to find the PCUFL at rated condition, the test must be performed at rated condition. Okay, so now we know the value of PCUFL, that is 80 watt, and P iron, that we know 50 watt, is already given in question, because this test is performed at rated voltage. Okay, V rated is nothing but it is performed at 250 volt, and this must be at high rated, that we have calculated at 4 ampere. Okay, so both are correct. So now find efficiency, that is X load factor into kVA into cos phi upon X kVA cos phi plus of PRN into X square PCUFL. So efficiency is nothing but X is given 0.5. We can see this is given at half full load. It means load factor, that is X, is nothing but 0.5. Okay, directly you can pick the value of 0.5 into kVA. Let's put in volt ampere, that is 10,000 into cos phi, that is power factor. It is already given in the question, 0.8. It is given in the question that at 0.8 power factor. Okay, so this is 0.8 upon 0.5 into 10,000 into 0.8 plus PRN is nothing but 50 watt plus 0.5 square into 80. Okay, so while solving this thing, we will see it will come 4,000 upon 4,000 plus 50, it will come 20 watt. Okay, so this is nothing but 4,000 upon 4,000 70. Okay, so how much it will come? Let's see. It will come 98.28%. Okay, so this is the answer. What was the main trick in this question? That was simply this short circuit test is not performed at rated current, so 45 watt cannot be equal to the PCUFL. So PCUFL must be equal to how much we have calculated, 80 watt. They can also change the question in such a way that short circuit test reading are this 60 volt, 3 ampere, 45 watt copper full load losses. Okay, that we have to calculate I2 and that find. Answer for this question is nothing but it will be simply 98.28%. So this is the right answer for this question. Okay, thank you everyone.